Hi everybody, it's Tasso. Journaling is super, super hype. Wherever you read, wherever you look, everybody seems to journal. Politicians journal, celebrities journal. There are people you hear from who have been journaling daily for 30 plus years. And there's a good reason for that. Because how else would you capture life's lessons? You can't use your brain for that. Your brain is crap at remembering things. False memories, anyone? So leave it to the brain to do these things that it's good at, which is being creative, generating amazing ideas, and brainstorming. Only if you journal, you will be able to reflect back on what just happened. You look at the day and say, what the heck was this day about? It will allow you to analyze your reactions, to grow personally, and frankly, just appropriately also close the day. Because as much as the day deserves to be planned, the day also deserves to be closed appropriately. Also, when you journal, you will remember things, of course, much better, and you will get some inner peace. Because imagine if you're not confronting those things that bothered you throughout the day, they will keep spinning in your head and you will go nuts. It's like in a relationship breakup, when you're the one broken up with, and you don't know why, and it keeps bothering you for ages. But as I said, I wanted to share with you unconventional benefits of journaling, not those things that you actually already have heard of or read somewhere or even know about. So here are the two things that stood out for me particularly. Number one, you will look at your day completely differently. What do I mean by that? You will start to not only accept the day as it comes and the things that happen to you, you will actively seek to design your day. Because as journaling is also about gratitude and remembering the positive things that happen to you, you will want to have more of these positive things in your life. So here's an example to illustrate what I mean by that. The other day, I was about to bring the kids to school. And so normally I would do that by walking or with a car. But that day, a thought popped up in my head that said, what could I do today to make this a memorable day? And I then came up with the idea to take the bikes and ride to school. And we did that, and that was super fun. You should have seen their faces. Number two, journaling allows you and shows you how consistent you actually are with those things that matter. See, life is very hectic. It is fast. You have some great ideas and some thoughts. Then things can get in the way. You get distracted. You are stressed. But when I looked back into my journal post for even 4 or 5 years ago, I realized that I feel the same way, that I want the same things, and that I dream the same dream. It will show you how consistent you are along the way. It will show you what actually pops up again and again for you to finally maybe take some action on this. And it will give you some self-confidence, because how often do we doubt ourselves, who we are, what we do, and what our place is in this world? When you see how consistent you actually are with the main things, the values and the thoughts that you have, it will boost your self-confidence enormously. So, got you interested? Maybe you ask yourself, how would you get started? I have some suggestions for you. Here's what I would do. Start without expectations. Remember this person that I said in the beginning who was journaling daily for 30 plus years? You don't need to be that person. You just start small. Just get started and put your thoughts on paper. Then find a quiet 20 to 30 minute time slot at the end of the day, maybe just before going to bed. Take the time just at the end of the day to reflect on the day and put your thoughts on paper. Which leads me to the next point. If you can, choose paper. Of course, better than nothing is you can use IT, a computer or mobile devices, but there is a different connectivity between brain and hand, and if you do something manually, that will make the whole experience of journaling much, much, much more different. Now, what do you journal about? Well, clearly you don't capture everything. This is not a diary where you write down what you ate and who you met and whether you went for coffee with someone. There are three main things that I would capture, that I do capture, for instance. Number one is about your lessons. It is about analyzing your reactions and understanding why you behaved the way you did and what your lesson, what have you learned based on these things that happen. Number 2 is about gratitude. You know better than I do that you have much, much more than you actually need. So remind yourself of these things and put them down on paper to actually see them. And number 3 is about observations. Now, what do I mean by that? I decided to not note down all those things that I observe with my kids. You can choose to do something else. But for me, for instance, one experience that I had, one example that I can share with you is when I asked my parents what I enjoyed doing when I was younger. What was I good at when I was younger? They were not able to actually articulate it and be very specific about it. And I wanted to be different in this regard. I want if my children ask me 20, 30 years from now, hey Dad, when we were young, what did we enjoy doing? What were we good at? I want to be able to do them. So I note them down, I jot them down, a few bullet points when things happen, not even every day. And if you want to leverage the second element that I mentioned to you about before, which is about the consistency, to see how consistent you are, also maybe jot down some of your goals, some of your ideas and thoughts, because when you look back, you will see that you're consistent in those things, and actually you will see in what things you're consistent in. 2 things. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. You might not be very consistent in the beginning. Stick with it. Yeah, there will be ups and downs. I've started journaling, I've stopped journaling, I've retaken on journaling. It is something that happens naturally. As I said, start without expectations. Don't worry too much about it. And number 2, that's a no-brainer, but let me tell it still to you. Look at it again, okay? When you journal, look back at it. Take the time once in a while. Put it in your calendar on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, and look back at what you've written. Otherwise, what's the point of putting everything down? That were 2 unconventional benefits, I think, unconventional in a way that you might not have thought or heard about them. I hope they helped you. I hope it served you. If you like, please subscribe to receive more of those. And until the next post, all the best.